Hi everyone, welcome to Lunch Hour Lessons with Allison. I'm Allison Mädl and today is October 30th, 2019. Each week on Wednesdays at 12:30 I come to you live to introduce a topic related to nutrition and health that I think is interesting and give you a lesson to take with you into your daily life. If you like what you hear, feel free to comment or like this video, and as always I post a transcript of each lesson on my blog at allisonmadel.com. This week's topic is road trip food. So my husband and I take a lot of multi-day road trips, and the 242,000-mile odometer reading on my Honda Civic is testament to this. While on the road, we still want to make sure that we're eating nourishing and delicious foods, and rarely do we stop to eat at restaurants while road tripping. And I've had many people over the years ask me what we do to continue to eat well while driving, so today I'm going to share our strategy. Besides being healthier, it does save money and valuable time during the driving day to bring our own food. However, it takes a little advanced planning and batch cooking ahead of time to make the trip come off successfully. We also don't bring all the food that we'll need for the entire trip with us and from the very beginning. Often our first stop in a new city is at a local health food store or a Trader Joe's, where we stock up on perishables and things that we'll need in the next few days like that. But we do have certain staples that we bring along with us, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So as far as where we eat, we sometimes eat in the car, sometimes at rest stops, sometimes at the Airbnb or hotel where we're going to be staying for that night. And before I get to the food itself, I'll mention that the right supplies make a difference as well. So we always have with us the following things. And again, this is going to be listed in the transcript on my blog, but generally we bring a medium-sized cooler. We bring camping utensils, so fork, knife, and spoon for each of us. We have a couple small bamboo cutting boards. We also have lightweight stainless steel bowls that we can eat out of and can store food in. We have dish towel, soap and sponge, paper towels, a good quality chef's knife, and a wooden spoon. And that's pretty much it as far as supplies. And that can basically, you can make almost anything with those few things. We also bring a Hot Logic portable food warmer, which is kind of like an insulated lunchbox that you can plug into your cigarette lighter to warm up food. It has a heating element inside, so that's pretty neat as well. And then there's the food staples, which always come with us depending on, it doesn't matter what meals we bring, but we always have sea salt and pepper. We always bring olive oil and apple cider vinegar, coconut oil. We bring our own water, filtered water. If we have to buy more along the road, then we do, but that helps us stay hydrated. And we sometimes bring mayonnaise, so avocado oil mayonnaise for making tuna and things like that. So my strategy ahead of time for batch cooking is to make filling foods for breakfast and lunch, and then kind of more snacky type foods to bring along for dinner that we can cobble something together. So with breakfast, I'll just go through those breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas. So breakfast, my favorite recipe is baked oatmeal squares, and I'll put the recipe on my blog, but basically you soak the oatmeal overnight and then bake it into kind of a casserole dish that you cut up. And so I make the squares the day before the trip to freeze or refrigerate the individual pieces in plastic wrap. I do use plastic wrap when we're traveling to refrigerate them before we go, and they defrost well, and then when we're ready to eat them, we just pull them out of the cooler, and you can either heat them up in the Hot Logic, or we just have it cold, and you can eat it with bananas, sour cream, cheese, some sort of maybe like a beef jerky or a Paleo Valley meat stick, something like that is usually breakfast. We like to get on the road fairly early, so we just sort of head out, and then we'll have breakfast a little ways down the road. For lunch, when we're often in the middle of the driving day and really don't want much fuss with the food, this is where I batch cook something ahead of time in my Instant Pot to freeze, and then take out individual portions with us on the road and put them in that Hot Logic portable food warmer. So the frozen containers of food in the cooler are great for keeping things cold. And then when we want to pull it out to eat while driving, maybe 45 minutes ahead of the time that we want to eat it, I'll just pull it out, stick it in, and then we have a nice warm meal. So my favorite recipes for this are like a chicken curry, which is a chicken biryani, and a three 3 bean turkey chili. Both of those are from a recipe called, a cookbook called Pressure Perfect. And then there's another recipe that I really like, which is spaghetti squash bolognese that is from Practical Paleo. And those 3 recipes work really well to freeze and then defrost, and they're hearty. And I usually substitute rice for the spaghetti squash in that bolognese because it's less watery. And then that brings us to dinner. So we usually bring a variety of foods, and this is kind of what people would mostly think of in terms of road trip foods, because they're easy to bring and you can make a meal if you have all these things. So the types of foods that we like are, I'll usually make some sort of quick bread or blueberry muffins or cornbread or something like that to have for carbohydrates. And then fruits and vegetables, carrots, celery, apples, chop those up. Bananas are always good. Raisins, other dried fruit can be helpful. Peanut butter, almond butter, tuna and salmon in cans, nuts and seeds, salami, prosciutto, meats, things like that. And then dairy products like cottage cheese and yogurt can really round out the meal. So if we have all those foods, that's great. If we want to stop and pick up like some salad greens too, then the tuna can make a tuna salad and put some nuts on it and raisins, and then you have a great dinner. So it really helps us stay fed well and hydrated when we're drinking our water, and it keeps us, really, I think the best way, a reason to do this is that it makes us independent from, if we're out in the middle of nowhere and we need to find something to eat and we're hungry, we just have our food with us. So it stops blood sugar crashes and keeps us energized while on the road. So that is all time we have for today. Be sure to tell a friend this week's lunch hour lesson, which is prepare ahead to have nourishing foods on hand while driving. Again, prepare ahead to have nourishing foods on hand while driving. Like my page to get the weekend tip that comes out on Saturday mornings, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.